The Massdrop Vast is a 35-inch ultra-wide gaming monitor with a beautiful VA panel, 100Hz refresh rate, free sync, and at $549.99, it is one of the most affordable gaming ultra-wide monitors on the market. The monitor boasts a sturdy metal build and 1800R curvature for great viewing angles, and it's also VESA mountable to fit into almost any setup. Check out the link in the description for more information, and thanks to Massdrop for sponsoring this video. Hey y'all, Moses here. I just wanted to say that I am back in Canada, back at the desk, and already we have a ton of news coming out for PUBG. The roadmap has been released. It went up while I was flying from Sweden. So I wanted to create a quick video this evening. It'll be coming out late, so most of you will probably have seen this already. But regardless, I wanted to jump through the changes and discuss. So essentially what we're going to do, just for your own info, we're going to go through the roadmap changes very quickly. This link will be in the description below for you to read on your own, and then we'll talk about the test build that also went live tonight. So we'll get right into the meat of it. So the first thing is a new 4x4 kilometer island map that will be coming out within the next month or two. So it'll be coming out ahead of the next large map, a lot of which is rumored to be a snow map, or at least that's what's demanded on Reddit. So we'll see what it ends up being. But for this one, it is an island map, or like a jungle island. So it's a little bit small. It's half the size of a normal map. So it's about fast-paced gameplay, quicker games. And that's something that I think a lot of people have been looking forward to, myself included. I think that the more kind of a deathmatchy mode would be good for practicing gunplay, better than dropping in school and stuff all the time and then, you know, having no mid-game. So this should increase the ability to have quicker games and get better at gunplay. So that's all good. So the second thing is an emote system. And this is kind of this is as bad as this update gets. I get it. I'm not like offended and outraged about the emote system like some people are. It's a pretty typical thing to have in a game now for Battle Royale. I think that Fortnite, I think, has a good implementation of it. And this is taking one from them. I don't know if it's necessarily what you would call a copy, but emotes and in-game emotes are just something that every game has, and now PUBG has it too, so not much to be said about that. So now this is getting more into the what's going to happen soon but not confirmed. So it is new game modes. So there is going to be interesting game modes for PUBG. Still early on when hammering out the kinks and details, so there's nothing really there to say. They also plan to add new vehicles as well as new weapons and weapon attachments. And the new weapon is pretty clearly the FN FAL, so a 7.62 AR. There is a render tease there, and the super sleuths of the internet have already determined that it is a FAL. So the next map, as they do mention, above the island map will be an 8x8 kilometer standard size map. Again, it's been discussed about being snow, and that's been kind of leaked by PUBG a little bit. So it's out there. It's just not confirmed. And now beyond that, the little things, achievements, in-game friend lists, and squad voice chat in the main menu are all being added. I think that was added into the test server today. So that's already live. And limb and vehicle bullet penetration was supposed to go onto the test server today, but has been postponed. So not just yet. So I think they're still tweaking that, but regardless, limb and vehicle bullet penetration are coming in as well. No discussion about material penetration like doors or window bars or anything like that, which I think would be a nice addition as well. But that might, this is just the beginning. I mean, the water penetration was the very, very beginning, and that's not very functional. So I think limb and bullet penetration will be nice because it'll eliminate the level 4 armor in arms just soaking up bullets and, you know, potentially leading to you getting killed a lot easier if you don't hit that body shot like you're supposed to. They are going to be overhauling the entire third-person and first-person animation systems to make them more smooth and reactive to the environment. And this will include animations for getting inside vehicles and changing seats while in the vehicle. So there will be a little bit more of a polish on the animation system. And they also want to improve it to make sure that the 3D replay system delivers some nice content and is kind of representative of what we see in the game, which is not currently the case. And also an overhaul of the parachute system. So something that's been requested a lot is the parachute system getting an overhaul, the control, the distance, that kind of thing. It doesn't go into specifics, but I imagine that that will be on the docket as well. So on the tail end, they also mention armed and unarmed melee combat systems. So the melee combat system kind of blows, and we all know that. So that's nice to see that they're going to take another look at that. So then moving away from the gameplay additions and into stability, optimization, and security, they basically say that they're trying to make the best environment possible. They're doing the best to combat cheaters, improve stability, optimize, etc., etc. So due to the sensitive nature of the subject and maximize the impact that we have, they can't go into specifics. So great, whatever. They're going to optimize. Cool. Sound. In the first half of 2018, we intend to increase the detail of vehicle sounds, which means introducing suspension sounds and more skidding. So just, again, robustness, attention to detail, etc. on the sounds. They're also going to make gun sounds more distinctly different depending on the POV. So changes to the gun sounds as well. In the second half of the year, we plan to change the sound that the player produces while moving. So different types of sounds for different type of gear, breathing, etc. But that's not going to happen for a little while. So that is going to be, again, quality of life / attention to detail, nothing too drastic for gameplay. Esports, my favorite part. I've been talking a lot about PUBG esports, and I will continue to do so. And they are going to increase their time / monetary investment into esports. PlayerUnknown said that at the interview in StarLadder. Regardless, they believe that their 3D replay system is the key to allowing orgs to provide much better coverage of a match. They want to improve the spectate tool and integrate replay system for spectators to use during live matches. Our data analytics team has been poring over ranking and player performance data for the last 3 months and are now working on improving MMR and the overall ranking system. So it doesn't say that there's going to be like a ranking system coming in right away, but improving might be changing. There might be an actual ranking system come in. Oh no, I mean, that's something for me that I would really like to see. I've been talking about that for a while, and so has many other people. So I would like to see that, but the big one in here for me is the API. There's going to be a play data API that'll really help, and just general API access to the game will give us a lot more data to extract and compute and deal with and understand how the game is played, both at a competitive and normal level. So the custom game system will be further expanded to allow more fine-grained control and quality of life features like saving presets, which is a big one. That's something that the community has been asking for some time, especially for competitive. They don't have to reset the circle settings every game. That really speed up match days, etc. And not to mention there's other community aspects to that as well. So they're also going to give more players access to custom games so that they can join at any given time. So that'll be nice. And the community dev support, this is more along the lines of the PUBG developer API and the developer portal. So making community resources around an API. This is not something that most of you will care about, but this is huge for community-based stuff at the match level, season level, lifetime level data. So, I mean, things like PUBG, op.gg, that like the stats web pages, PUBG maps. It's just going to be really nice from an analytical standpoint, but I'm not going to jump too far in there. And they do have a thing at the end here saying that this new features and systems is not exhaustive. This is just a cursory guideline. And yeah, that's the long and the short of it. I mean, I went through that pretty quickly. So again, if you want to read all about it, you can jump into the the description below and grab the link for yourself if you want to read it. And now quickly, I would like to talk about the test build that they released, because there's a lot of nice changes in here as well. So just again, going over what they've done. It's mostly optimization, improved real-time response by reducing input lag. Nice. Mitigated the frame drop issue caused by the map loading process. Reduced the burden of the GPU by optimizing buildings in Erangel. Optimized the beginning and the end of effects, and optimized vehicle physics when driving under a certain speed. They've also optimized the server network performance and optimized vehicle physics when driving under a certain... I don't know why this whole under a certain speed thing is relevant, but regardless, they essentially state in the preamble that they have alleviated frame drop and lag occurrences happening when players are pushing together, starting from the second half of the match or in dynamic situations like intense firefights. So hopefully that'll lead to less frame drops in firefights, which is a big deal. And that's been something that's been an issue for quite some time. So they've added the PUBG friends list, the friends system in there, so you can add people independently on Steam, which is nice. And there's a bunch of information about that, just about how you can add people and the friends list limits, etc. They've also added the main menu voice chat for squads, which will be nice if you're trying to set up your squad before getting into the game. They've also made holes in the ceiling and floor of Sama High buildings so that it's easier to move between different levels to improve the gameplay experience on Miramar. So a little bit more mobility in the big buildings on Miramar. They've also added an achievement system, and the emote system is in as well. And they've fixed the blue blood effect being more visible than the red blood effect when players get shot. So maybe they've just increased the visibility of red blood effects because some people have been using the blue effect for visibility. They've added some crops, rubber, cloth, paper, cactus materials. When shooting these things, it'll make different sounds. They've also changed the gun scope view to be more realistic. I haven't seen this in the game yet. I have yet to even play. I landed and I just made this video, so I have not been able to get into that just yet. But they've expanded the field of view through the scope, added a parallax effect when moving weapons fast, added color vignetting, chromatic aberration, so effects of the scopes, and that's that. So I'll be interested to see how that looks. A few UX changes / UI changes, nothing too major there. They've changed the red cross icon with a red tire icon for a broken tire. Okay, huge changes. Sound, added hit effects for all the materials I just mentioned. Now bug fixes. There's a ton of bug fixes in here. Again, I really encourage you to read them for yourself. I'll go over the highlights. They have fixed the 8x scope from unzooming or resetting its zoom when switching between weapons. Finally, that's a huge quality of life improvement and will make the 8x scope a lot more functional, at least for me. They've also improved the problems where characters would randomly die when vaulting or looking through walls, etc. And they've also fixed some UI issues, character animations, locations of items that would spawn in places the players cannot reach. So hopefully the shooting range will get fixed. That's a really annoying bug. A few other things. Oh, the improved an issue where the 3-wheeled motorcycle will suddenly flip whenever the server performance deteriorated. So hopefully no more random 3-wheel motorcycle flipping. Fixed an issue where a player would have a slower falling speed when switching seats on a 3-wheeled motorcycle midair. Okay, I don't know what that means, but fair enough. Fixed an issue where underwater bullet penetration effect was not being applied sometimes. Interesting. And I think that is all for the important stuff that I can see as I scan through. So that is basically it. I think that you should probably look through this yourself. Again, last reminder. So links in the description for this as well. So the test server I'll be playing over the weekend. I'm really interested to hear your thoughts. A lot of people got mad about the emote system. So if you're just going to complain about that specifically, just, I don't know, save it for somewhere else, or whatever, leave it down in the comments below. I want to hear your thoughts on the overall roadmap and the updates so far. I want to know what you would like to see in the game, what you're expecting from the new map, the new weapon, how you want this all to come together. Are you excited? Are you mad that things were left out? Let me know. Like the video if you liked it, and don't forget, if you want to check out the test server, come visit me on Twitch, twitch.tv/wtfmoses. We will be playing it all weekend. I'm casting the stream.me PUBG Invitational tomorrow. Lots of high-level teams there. So if you want to come check that out, then yes. Right. So that's it for now. I'm happy to be back. I'm excited to be playing some video games, and I will see you guys very, very soon. So until next time, we'll see you out there.